The watch market is not dead. It is being rewritten. Here are 3 hot takes that will start comment fights. First, a brand shift that could threaten Rolex in cultural mindshare, with Cartier's subtle icons surging among younger buyers. Second, the size and design trend that is quietly winning, smaller mid-size watches for daily wear. Third, the market force that will decide what holds value, real demand versus viral hype, is taking over. Here are the 2026 trends that actually matter, and how to use them. Secondary market prices are down a full third from their pandemic highs. That is not just a blip. It is a correction that has changed how every serious buyer thinks about risk and reward. Flipping a hot reference for a quick profit is out. The watch market is now about considered moves and long-term wear. Dealers have adjusted too. Inventory sits longer, and even the most hyped releases face more scrutiny before anyone pulls the trigger. In this new climate, Cartier has quietly surged into the spotlight. Once seen as a jewelry house with a sideline in watches, Cartier now claims a solid place in the daily rotation of younger collectors. The Tank and Santos, with their clean lines and subtle profiles, have become the go-to choices for buyers who want something instantly recognizable but not loud. The data backs it up. Instagram traffic for #CartierTank and #CartierSantos has spiked, especially after high-profile nods from celebrities and fashion leaders. On Chrono24, search and sold listings for the Tank have jumped, while the Santos continues to climb in both demand and value retention. Cartier appeal runs deeper than trends. For Gen Z and millennial buyers, now the fastest-growing segment, Cartier offers heritage without the baggage of status chasing. A Tank Must or Santos Dumont wears just as well with streetwear as it does with a suit, and entry points are 30 to 50% below Rolex equivalents. That is not lost on a generation raised on resale apps and price transparency. The numbers tell the story. Cartier's share among Gen Z buyers has more than tripled since 2018, and the Tank has held or gained value even as the broader market cooled. Watch what happens to secondary prices for Tank, Santos, and Panther references. If you are tracking the next cultural king, do not just look at sales volume, look at which models show up on real wrists and in daily search spikes. For 2026, Cartier rise is not a fluke. It is a signal that mindshare is moving, and the old rules about what makes a watch important are being rewritten. The watch market is not dead. It is being rewritten. Here are 3 predictions that will start arguments in the comments. First, a brand shift that could threaten Rolex in mindshare. Second, a size and design trend that is quietly winning. Third, the market force that will decide what holds value and what fades. Here are the 2026 trends that actually matter and how to use them. Post-boom hangover. The secondary market cooled after the pandemic surge, and buyers are more cautious now. That changes what wins in 2026. Less flash, more wearable, more recognizability, more considered buying. Prediction 1. The new king is not new. Cartier keeps rising. Why it is happening. Younger buyers favor designs that are recognizable but restrained, pieces that work as everyday symbols, not internet trophies. The proof signal. Demand for Cartier Tanks, Santos, and Panther style references is climbing in searches and listings. Who wins and who loses? Cartier and similar dress-oriented icons gain, while oversized sporty flex watches lose some cultural momentum. Action for viewers. Watch which Cartier references keep climbing on the secondary market, and monitor how resale prices behave. Quick poll. Are you buying in 2026 or waiting for better prices? Prediction 2. Smaller is the safer bet. 36 to 40 millimeters becomes the default. Why it is happening. Buyers want comfort and daily wearability, and the big dial era is cooling. The proof signal. Chrono24 bestsellers show Omega S39mm Speedmaster and Tag Heuer S38mm Monaco holding steady, with year-over-year value changes of less than 2%. The Seiko SRB033 at 38mm barely loses ground, even after discontinuation rumors. Meanwhile, watches above 42mm, like some IWC Pilot references, are losing hundreds of euros in resale value, and time to sale is stretching out. Who wins and who loses? Mid-size sports and dress models win. Large statement pieces lose resale speed and often price. Action for viewers. If you are buying to wear and not just to flex, mid-size is the smarter lane in 2026. Prediction 3. Pre-owned is not the alternative anymore, it is the main market. Why it is happening? Buyers are bargain hunting, comparing value, and avoiding the worst of retail markups and hype traps. The proof signal, certified pre-owned, is now a major market force, and brands are launching official programs. Who wins and who loses? Certified pre-owned platforms and brands with clean provenance win, opportunistic retail markups and sketchy sellers lose. Action for viewers. Learn to evaluate condition, full set completeness, and service history. Treat certified pre-owned listings like investments. Prediction 4. The boom hangover continues. There are fewer easy flips and more slow wins. Why it is happening? The market cooled hard from peak. Hype pieces do not automatically fly anymore. The proof signal. Pieces that once flipped in days now take weeks or months to sell, and realized margins are shrinking. Who wins and who loses? Long-term icons and wearable classics win. Hype-driven launches lose short-term liquidity. Action for viewers. The quick flip strategy is riskier. Focus on icons, wearability, and long-term demand. Prediction 5. Watch as jewelry gets bigger, even for men. Why it is happening? The line between watch and jewelry keeps blurring, with more refined, style-led buying and less tool-only mentality. The proof signal. Brands release thinner profiles, precious material options, and more bracelet-centric designs. Who wins and who loses? Brands investing in style-led collections win. Pure tool watch purists lose some market share. Action for viewers. Consider thinner cases and precious metal options if you want a watch that works as both timepiece and jewelry. Prediction 6. Price pressure stays, retail increases, plus politics and tariff risk matter. Why it is happening? Pricing is pushed by macro forces, and tariffs or policy chatter can become price headlines overnight. The proof signal. Official retail increases, regional price variations, and public tariff discussions. Who wins and who loses? Buyers who track official price updates and currency moves win. Panic buyers lose. Action for viewers. Expect volatility in U.S. pricing narratives, do not panic buy, and track official updates before committing. Prediction 7. Meaning beats hype. Watches become milestone gifts and forever objects again. Why it is happening? Buyers reframe watches as emotional purchases for graduation, promotion, and weddings, not just flex content. The proof signal. More searches for gift occasions and long-term ownership stories in forums and social channels. Who wins and who loses? Timeless models and emotionally meaningful designs win. Disposable trend pieces lose staying power. Action for viewers. Build a buying framework. Buy what you would still love in 10 years. Selection over hype, size, and channel shift matters. Mid-size is now the smart move. Models between 36 and 40mm are easier to wear and are outlasting the big dial era in demand and value. Chrono 24S bestsellers tell the story. Omega S 39mm Speedmaster and Tag Heuer S 38mm Monaco are holding steady, with year-over-year value changes of less than 2%. The Seiko SRB033 at 38mm barely loses ground, even after discontinuation rumors. Watches above 42mm, like some IWC Pilot models, are losing hundreds of euros in resale value, and time to sale is stretching out. Gen Z and millennial buyers, who drive much of the action, pick watches that fit under a cuff and do not shout. They want something that feels right every day, not just on the weekend. For anyone buying in 2026, the rule is simple. If you are unsure, 36 to 40mm is rarely the wrong answer. But the channel you buy through matters just as much. Pre-owned is not a backup plan anymore. It is the main way serious buyers acquire watches. The certified pre-owned market is now $30 billion, and brands are jumping in with their own certified pre-owned programs. Rolex launched an official certified pre-owned scheme through Bucherer, and dealers like Watchbox and Bob's push authentication and full-set guarantees. The days of rolling the dice on a sketchy listing are fading. Buyers check condition, box and papers, and most crucially, service history. Blockchain-backed authentication makes it harder for fakes to sneak through, and liquidity is now a real metric. If you cannot sell a watch quickly for close to what you paid, it is not truly liquid. For 2026, treat certified pre-owned listings like an investment. Look for clean provenance, recent servicing, and a full set of original accessories. Use platforms with transparent filters, Chrono24, eBay's authenticity guarantee, or official brand certified pre-owned channels. The Smart Buyer's checklist is short: right size, right paperwork, right price. Anything else is just hype. 3 rules for 2026 buyers. First, buy wearability first. Size and comfort matter more than trend. Second, buy recognizability. Second, choose models people actually search for. Third, buy liquidity. Third, think about how easy it is to resell if life changes. Comment your budget and wrist size, and I will suggest 3 watches that fit these 2026 trends. Flipping a watch for fast profit is now a high-wire act with no net. The days when a new release would sell at double retail within hours are gone. On Chrono24 and watch charts, the average listing sits longer than at any point since 2019, and auction underbids have become routine, especially for the hype references from 2021 to 2023. Even dealers are feeling the friction. Inventory turnover is down, and the gap between asking price and realized sale keeps widening. One longtime collector sums it up: if you buy hoping for a quick flip, you are playing a different game now. You might win, but the odds are not on your side. Here is the part nobody says out loud. The winners in this new era are the icons with proven staying power. Think Speedmaster, Datejust, Tank, Santos. The losers are limited-run collaborations, oversized tool watches, and anything riding last year's Instagram wave. For 2026, the smart play is slow and steady. Focus on models with consistent demand, not last month's headline. If you are tempted to chase the next hot drop, check how long similar watches are actually taking to sell. If listings linger for weeks, that is your red flag. The easy flip is now mostly a myth. But while speculation cools, something else is heating up. The watch as jewelry trend is accelerating. More brands are leaning into design and blurring the line between timepiece and accessory. Integrated bracelets, thinner cases, and precious metals are everywhere. Echoes of the 1970s, but sharper. Audemars Piguet's Royal Oak and Patek's Nautilus set the blueprint decades ago. Now even brands like Cartier and Bulgari are releasing models where the bracelet is the star. The data backs it up. Press releases in 2025 and 2026 highlight bracelet-first launches, and heritage lines with integrated designs are seeing renewed demand. This shift is not just about looks. It is about versatility and self-expression. Watches that slide under a cuff but catch the light just right. For men especially, the old tool watch only mentality is fading. Expect more precious metals, more refinement, and more focus on finishing. When you shop, look at how the bracelet integrates with the case, and pay attention to comfort and finishing. If a watch feels like jewelry, not just a gadget, you are looking at the right trend for 2026. Quick poll. Are you buying in 2026 or waiting for better prices? Retail prices have not stopped climbing. In 2025 alone, most major brands raised manufacturer-suggested retail prices at least once. Rolex, Omega, and Cartier all issued price updates that made headlines in collector forums. But the real wild card is politics. Tariff rumors and currency swings now turn into overnight price spikes or sudden discounts, especially in the United States and Asia Pacific. Dealers and buyers are watching not just the watches, but the news ticker. A Chrono24 analyst put it this way: official price lists are just the starting point. Real cost depends on timing, region, and even the week's headlines. For anyone thinking about pulling the trigger, panic buying is a losing game. The smart play is to track official price updates, compare across regions, and take your time. If a retailer says buy now before the next hike, check the last 3 increases. Sometimes waiting 1 month means a better deal, or at least a cooler head. Volatility is the only constant, and the most resilient buyers are the ones who do not let headlines rush them. Here is the part nobody says out loud. Meaning is back in the conversation. More buyers are choosing watches for what they represent, not just for what they are worth. The data shows a rise in milestone purchases, graduations, weddings, and promotions. These are not flex pieces. They are forever objects. A collector survey from early 2026 found that over half of buyers now use the 10-year test. If you would not love it a decade from now, it is not worth the box. So what is the playbook for 2026? It boils down to 3 rules. First, buy wearability. If it is not comfortable, you will not reach for it. Second, buy recognizability. Models like the Tank, Santos, Datejust, or Speedmaster are always in demand. Third, buy liquidity. If life changes, can you resell quickly without taking a bath? Wearability first, recognizability second, liquidity third. That is how you win in a market that will not reward hype anymore. The watch market is not dead, it is being rewritten. Here are 3 predictions that will start arguments in the comments. First, a brand shift that could threaten Rolex in cultural mindshare. Second, a size and design trend that is quietly winning. Third, a market force that will decide which watches hold value and which fade. Here are the 2026 trends that actually matter and how to use them. Post-boom hangover, the secondary market cooled after the pandemic surge, and buyers are more cautious now. That means less flash and more wearable, more recognizable, more considered buying. Quick poll: are you buying in 2026 or waiting for better prices? Prediction 1. The new king is not new, Cartier keeps rising. Why it is happening: younger buyers gravitate to recognizable but restrained designs that read as tasteful rather than loud. Cartier looks like a signal people understand. The proof signal: certified pre-owned sales outpacing retail growth, and rising search traffic and resale bids on Tank, Santos, and Panthère style references. Who wins? Cartier and classic dress models. Who loses? Some of the loud, hard-to-wear hype pieces that depend on logo flex. Action for viewers: watch which Cartier references keep climbing, and monitor secondary prices for consistent demand. Prediction 2. Smaller is the safer bet. 36 to 40 millimeters becomes the default. Why it is happening: buyers want comfort and everyday wearability, not oversized statements that sit awkwardly on the wrist. The proof signal: new releases trending towards slimmer cases and mid-sized diameters, plus stronger resale for mid-size icons. Who wins? Mid-size sport and dress models from mainstream brands. Who loses? Extra-large dials built purely for flex. Action for viewers: if you are buying to wear and not just to flex, favor 36 to 40 millimeters. Prediction 3. Pre-owned is not the alternative anymore. It is the main market. Why it is happening: buyers compare value and avoid retail markups and hype traps, so certified pre-owned becomes the default channel. The proof signal: marketplaces growing faster than store foot traffic and more brands offering certified pre-owned programs. Who wins? Buyers who know condition and provenance. Who loses? Speculative retail only plays that rely on wait lists. Action for viewers: learn to assess condition, full set completeness, service history, and how liquid a piece is. Prediction 4. The boom hangover continues. Fewer easy flips and more slow wins. Why it is happening? The market cooled hard from peak and hype pieces no longer fly automatically. The proof signal: falling rapid resale prices for recently hyped releases and longer listing times on common platforms. Who wins? True icons with proven long-term demand. Who loses? One-hit wonder releases built solely on hype. Action for viewers: avoid quick flip strategies. Focus on icons, wearability, and long-term demand. Prediction 5. Watch as jewelry gets bigger even for men. Why it is happening? The line between watch and jewelry keeps blurring as style-led buying grows and tool-only mentality softens. The proof signal: more refined profiles, precious metal options, and bracelet-forward designs in mainstream collections. Who wins? Brands that can do thin, elegant cases and integrated bracelets. Who loses? Rugged tool-only models that ignore style trends. Action for viewers: notice how releases change. Favor thinner profiles and quality bracelets if you want versatility. Prediction 6. Price pressure stays. Retail increases, plus politics and tariff risk. Why it is happening? Macro forces and policy chatter push pricing narratives and can change price expectations overnight. The proof signal: periodic official retail increases, and headlines about tariffs or regional price adjustments. Who wins? Buyers who track official updates and currency moves. Who loses? Buyers who panic buy at the first price spike. Action for viewers: expect volatility in U.S. pricing. Do not panic buy. Track official price updates and currency trends. Prediction 7. Meaning beats hype. Watches return to milestone gifts and forever objects. Why it is happening? Buyers reframe watches as emotional purchases for graduations, promotions, and weddings rather than social media content. The proof signal: stronger demand for classic pieces tied to life events and steady resale for sentimental models. Who wins? Timeless models with clear histories. Who loses? Disposable trend pieces with no story. Action for viewers: build a buying framework. Buy what you would still love in 10 years. What this means for buyers: 3 simple rules for 2026. Buy wearability first. Prioritize size and comfort. Buy recognizability second. Pick models people actually search for. Buy liquidity third. Consider how easy it is to resell if life changes. Here is the part nobody says out loud. Right now, the market rewards clarity over hype. With certified pre-owned sales outpacing retail growth and Cartier capturing new buyers, every purchase is a statement of intent. In 2026, value is chosen, not chased. Comment your budget and wrist size, and I will suggest 3 watches that fit these 2026 trends. Which side of that line are you on? Drop your answer in the comments.